The Supreme Court has threatened to strike down amendments to BCCI's Rule 6.2.4, which was the main point of contention in its hearing yesterday. The Supreme Court asked the BCCI to satisfy the bench that Amendment 6.2.4 is legitimate, and this is the amendment that permitted N. Srinivasan to own the Chennai Super Kings, raising the issue of conflict of interest. This has dominated the IPL fixing hearing case till date. The bench also told the board that their rules do not stop the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, thus will not help the board. The court also added that the entire purpose of this exercise is to clean up cricket and ensure the game is played in a fair manner. The court also bombarded the board with questions relating to Rule 6.2.4. The court asked the board what happens if this amendment was not done. The Apex Court also directed the board to list out all the administrators and players who have commercial interests in the Indian Premier League and the Champions League. The court has also asked the board to provide a list of administrators who will be affected if clause 6.2.4 is struck down. The court has sought more details regarding rules and has questioned the board's counsel to explain why this clause was amended.
बीसीसीआई ये कह रहा था कि हम सोसाइटी हैं, मैं अपने रूल से गवर्न होता हूं, मेरे रूल में ताक झाक करने का किसी को अधिकार नहीं है। तो कोर्ट ने कहा कि आप सोसाइटी हो लेकिन आप पब्लिक फंक्शन भी डील करते हो, तो आप 6.2.4 जो आपने अमेंडमेंट किया है उसको आप मुझे सेटिस्फाइड कीजिए, नहीं तो हो सकता था कि आपके इस अमेंडमेंट को मैं रद्द कर दूं।
And headlines today is Radhika Tongar now joins me with the latest from Supreme Court. Radhika, a crucial day for N. Srinivasan, but even if 6.2.4 is now struck down, he's already said he's willing to stay away from the Indian Premier League, but there are others who would be affected.
Of course, Gaurav, Srinivasan, he did tell the Supreme Court that he was willing to step aside from the workings of the IPL if he was allowed to contest the elections. But remember, he did not mention anything as far as the ownership of Chennai Super Kings is concerned. So if the Supreme Court does go ahead and strike down 6.2.4, the amendment that actually enables N. Srinivasan and other administrators as well in BCCI to hold commercial interests in the IPL, it will be a big blow for Srinivasan. He will no longer be able to own Chennai Super Kings, and obviously that is what the Supreme Court will be concentrating on today. The BCCI's counsel as well as Srinivasan's counsel will try to prove to the Supreme Court how this clause was not amended just to benefit BCCI officials in order to hold commercial interests in the IPL. That is what is going to be argued today in front of the Supreme Court. The hearing obviously has already commenced, and we do know that as far as the counsel of Aditya Verma is concerned, Nalini Chidambaram will come up and try to prove to the Supreme Court on the contrary how 6.2.4 benefited N. Srinivasan and others in owning teams in the IPL. So obviously a big day for N. Srinivasan and others as well, because the Supreme Court has asked to name the list of people whoever are gaining from this amendment in the clause, Gaurav.
Radhika, for the moment, many thanks for joining me. Keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more.